you want to know my opinion on what I think, just keep on watching. Hey guys, what's good? It's your girl Nisi here and I'm back with a new video, and I want to give a huge shout out to my new subscribers. Hey y'all, I see y'all, and shout out to my remaining ones, and if you're new here, subscribe to your girl. But yes guys, as you already know by the thumbnail and the title, in today's video I'm going to be talking on how Serena Williams, yes, the Serena Williams husband Alexis, how he clapped back at Stephen A. Smith. Guys, when I said I was gagged, I was shocked, I was here for this clapback. So a quick backstory. So Serena Williams supported Kendrick Lamar when he did his Super Bowl performance, and she came out there crip walking and whatever. And it was to the song They Not Like Us. And if you don't know, that song was a diss track to Drake, and in other words, to people, like culture vultures, you ain't black, like you ain't like us. Obviously Kendrick and Serena, they come from Compton, LA, shout out to Compton. So you know what I mean? She was supporting her friend. But it rubbed a lot of black men a certain way, especially, the people from the OVO camp. And Stephen A. Smith had a lot to say about her, like, oh, because she did date Drake back in the past. So he was just like, oh, if she's hung up on her ex, then she needs to divorce her husband and go back to her ex. So obviously Alexis caught wind of this and he was just like, bet. Whenever I get to meet this man, it's on site. And guys, that's what he did. He was just doing like a random interview with him. And he was just like, so I heard you had some, marriage advice for me. And Stephen A. Smith is like, whoa, who said that? Like, he was just acting all delirious, all confused. And, he had to remind him, remember when you were speaking on my wife? And he was just like, oh, no, this is not the time for it. They're like, I didn't mean it like that, just really backpedaling, stuttering. And it's just like, really? So I'm going to play the clip and I will be back with my commentary.
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or...
Well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I
was hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, see. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane of advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm running 13 years strong. We got you. Alexis, thank you so much. Athlos NYC 2-night event in New York. Incredible. Can't wait to watch. I'm looking for a Tiffany's crown.
Oh, yes, Alexis, come through. So yes, guys, you just heard that, and I'm here for it, and I loved it. The fact that it was live on air. So first of all, shout out to the host because she tried to pivot, and it's like, yeah, let's not talk about marriage. Like, let's try and talk about, what we're here for. But he was like, listen, I speak on billion-dollar companies. Guess why? Because I am a billionaire and I own a billion-dollar company. You're not a married man. Why are you speaking on other people's marriages? It's not even like he was giving good advice. He was saying, oh, she needs to divorce her husband and go back to her. Sir, you've never, you know what I mean? It's not like he's not married and you've never been married. It's crazy. But shout out to him. Shout out to the host, because if I was the host, I would have been sipping tea. I would have been like, ooh. Well, I'm glad that she tried to, pivot and de-escalate it, because if she didn't, I know her bosses would have been like, why were you just stood there and just what, you know what I mean? So, she kept it together. So shout out to her. But listen, that's the thing about live TV. You never know what's going to happen. Like, I swear some of the best moments and memes have come from like live TV. Like, I remember when Future and Sierra first broke up, Ludacris and Sierra were announcing like some awards thing, and Future's name came up and Sierra refused to say his name. So Sierra was listing all the artists and the song that they're being awarded for or nominated. Future's name came up and she was just literally looking dead ass in the camera. Ludacris is looking at her, and it just got so awkward. So then Ludacris had to step in and be like, Future from Mask Off. Like, it was funny. Another one of my favorites is Kanye West and Mike Myers. This was way back in the day. So I think this was around Hurricane Katrina. And Kanye West said dead ass in front of the whole world, wide world, that President Bush doesn't like black people. And the look on Mike Myers' face, I'll have to play the clip next.
May end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Yeah, guys, you just saw that. When I say that lives rent-free in my head, it lives rent. I'm a big fan of Mike Myers. Shout out to him, Scottish brother there. And yeah, Kanye West. That was conscious Kanye West. That was, yeah, I love that Kanye. But yeah, it's just how awkward it was. And then Mike Myers is just looking in the camera like. But yeah, shout out to the whole. She held it down. But yeah, guys, let's get into some people's reactions.
So apparently there are some black men that are upset with Serena Williams crip walking at Kendrick Lamar's performance. Men, did you hear me say some? All right. First off, we have Stephen A. Smith, who said that he would divorce Serena Williams for the Super Bowl halftime appearance. Which to that, all I have to say is, you know what? It's a great thing that we live in reality and not La La Land, because you are not married to the greatest athlete of our generation. But I'm not here to talk about Stephen A. Smith. I'm here to talk about Mr. Jason Whitlock. Now, Serena's husband, Alexis Ohanian, basically has been, 10 toes down behind his wife, as he should. And he understands the significance, obviously, for her performance on that halftime show. Jason Whitlock decided to quote tweet him and say, "This is Serena's husband, a true beta. He's mad at me rather than the wife crip walking and still talking about Drake. Simp." Now, I think Alexis did quote tweet him first, but regardless, Alexis was correct. Now, Jason responded, and now we are going to read Alexis's response. "I get it. You're 57, and life didn't turn out the way you imagined. That kind of disappointment must be exhausting. You're the embodiment of peaked in high school, spending decades chasing validation from strangers through likes and digital hugs, only to find that no amount of external approval fills the void. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Criticism only fuels your victim complex, reinforcing the comforting delusion that there's some grand conspiracy against you and your brave ideas, when in reality, you've just got terrible takes. It's a cycle. Outrage, backlash, self-pity, repeat. This is a lonely road. There's still time to rewrite the ending. Start by working on yourself first. You'll find that if you wake up every morning trying to be a little better, a little more curious, you won't have time for irrational hating. You'll be too busy winning." Ooh, I love a calm read. A calm, cool, collected read, because they can't come at you for saying that you angry and nothing. And I haven't seen if Jason responded, but honestly, there ain't shit he could say to this. There ain't shit you could say to this. Shout out to Serena's husband. That man is 10 toes down behind his wife. He takes care of his wife, his children. He's a feminist. He literally goes into Facebook groups, I believe into, Facebook groups because he has a mixed daughter, and learn how to do that girl's hair. And he owns Reddit. Forgot to mention that. He owns Reddit. So, of course, somebody who owns Reddit can draft up paragraphs like this. I know this shit hit Jason straight in his chest. I'm talking a swift kick right in the fucking sternum. I know that shit just hurt. And honestly, 10 out of 10. You ate that.
And I don't know where he went to read, but for a white man, he can read people down. And once you throw shots at them, they can never clap back because they look up to him and that's who they're trying to be like. I'm sure a lot of these black men want to be billionaires. Really, he's a successful man. Minus the color, he's a successful man, period. So again, when he did that clapback, that lengthy essay, There's nothing you can say. Again, you're in your late 50s. Life's probably not turned out the way you expected it. So that's why you've got all this hate and anger for this black woman. Now, why? Because he sticks up for his wife, he's classed as a simp. Same with Russell Wilson, marrying Sierra after she had a baby with you. Like, why are these men called simps? Like, it really irks me. When really, what I mean, you just want to be this against the Sierra's husband, successful, madly in love, takes care of his kids and his adopted Future's child. It's annoying because Future and the child's called Future, so he's adopted Future, baby Future. But yet people are like, oh, they're corny and they're simps and you know what I mean? And it's just like, huh? It's weird, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know where Alexis lit all this, but again, he does own Reddit, and Reddit is about paragraphs and writing dissertations. So again, he's a billionaire, and I just love, like she stated, he learned to do his daughter's hair because he has two girls with Serena. Obviously, it's not the same hair type as him, so he's come out of his way to learn to do their hair. I love that. And I just love how he loves on Serena. Serena gets a lot of flack, a lot of hate. She's been getting it her whole career. And anytime, especially black men, come for his wife, he's always defending his wife like a husband should. So I'm here for it. And I love that Serena never has to clap back because her husband does it for her. Like, Alexis, I love this. I love this for them. And yeah, man, keep it up. I'm here for it.
Now that's the kind of getting on we like to see. Serena Williams' husband checking Stephen A. Smith about the comments he made about Serena Williams dancing at Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance. He had that man stuttering. But let's start with what Stephen A. Smith originally had to say about Serena Williams dancing with Kendrick Lamar.
I'm married, and my wife is going to join trolling her ex. Go back to his ass, because clearly you don't belong with me.
And the thing about Stephen A. Smith is that he always got something to say. He always got smoke when it comes to women. But now, the woman's man came to you as a man, and you was stuttering.
Also, too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I was
hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, see. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies. Yeah. So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm going 13 years strong. We got
deal.
You don't want to press him like you was pressing Jasmine Crockett the other day. You don't want to press him like how you tried to press First Lady Michelle Obama the other day. What happened? Matter of fact, you don't want to talk about him like you was talking about Bronny James and got mad because his father had to step in. The silence is loud.
Listen, I agree with him. Stephen A. Smith, it's a chop. Stop speaking on people. Stop speaking on what you don't know. Now, I did see when he spoke on Bronny James, and LeBron checked him, and obviously he was just like, oh, because obviously LeBron approached him like a man should on that alpha. Like, he stood on business, and he was just like, oh, it was like he was gonna hit me. Like, come on, LeBron, he's not stupid. If he raised his hand, you know how many sponsors and endorsements he would lose just him doing that. Like, he's not stupid, but you're not gonna come for his youth, and then he's not gonna stick up. You know what I mean? Listen, certain opinions, keep that in your household. I don't know if he's got a woman or girlfriend, but you know what I mean? Save that for the pillow talk and stop coming on live on air speaking on people, because people will pull up and people will check you, and that's exactly what Alexis did. So shout out to him. And again, the whole stuttering and backpedaling, I cannot. It's so funny, and just the way the host is trying to de-escalate it. I've been married for 13 years, so we can talk about this later. No, we're gonna talk about it now. But no, I am here for this. Big up Alexis and Serena every time.
Serena didn't marry her biggest fan. She married her biggest supporter. Serena Williams did not marry her biggest fan. She married her biggest supporter. We can only pray, the ones of us that are waiting for our husband, that if anybody spoke on our marriage or me, right, his wife, that he would shut it down like Alexis Ohanian. That was nice to see. That was nice.
And I agree with her 100. Listen, if my future husband is not like Alexis, I don't want it. Like, I need my man to defend me all the time. Vice versa, the woman needs to defend him. You know what I mean? Like, I am here for this. And she got a good one. Like, Serena, I would say Serena and Eve, like, the way they married up, yeah, and the way their husbands have got their back. It's not all about money, you know what I mean? It's just how they love on them and how they've got kids. Like, I love that for them. And I just hope they're truly happy, you know what I mean? Because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but just looking at them and seeing who they've dated in the past, I'm so happy for Serena. So yeah, man, she didn't just marry her biggest fan, but her biggest supporter.
You hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, see. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane with advice.
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm 13 years strong. We got
Deal.
Alexis, thank you very much.
Seems like he been waiting a long time to say this shit.
Yeah, he has, and so what? At the end of the day, Cardi B says it all the time. Like, listen, Bia dissed her ages ago, and on Cardi B's album, she said, listen, I was going to get my clap back in my timing. Listen, as long, you know the saying, better late than never, as long as he's finally got his clap back, he's finally defended his wife. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Some people, yeah, you have to check them in person. Of course, he could have added him, he could have tweeted him long time when he first spoke on his marriage. But he said, yo, one day we're gonna meet. Because again, when you're talking to celebrities, millionaires, billionaires, you know what I mean? There's so many events where you see people. So again, same with LeBron James. LeBron James could have added him, but LeBron James knew he would see him in person. So when LeBron James saw him, he checked him in person. I'm sorry, some checks and some things need to be spoken in person because again, people are keyboard warriors or they're internet gangsters, but when you check them in person, they're not on anything. They're not keeping that same energy as we've just seen in that clip. He's like, oh no, I'm not married. I can't speak. But you did though. You spoke on his marriage, putting yourself in his place, saying, well, if Serena was my wife, she needs to divorce me. So yes, he's been waiting a long time, and said like that day was the day.
Anytime I think about being with a man, I think about, will he treat me the way Serena Williams' husband treats her? The way Alexis Ohanian posts on his Instagram of them at their family at the Olympics. He's like Olympia, their daughter, Serena, and Serena's personal umbrella holder. Like, he will literally always be the standard, and the way that he talks about her, and when he tells the story of how they met, it's like he was so in love with her. He's still so in love with her. He knows how incredible she is, how she's like the best athlete in the world, and he knows that she's like much better than him and could do better than him. And he treats her like a literal queen. And the fact that in 2020, he co-founded Reddit, right? He stepped down from his position as the board of directors, and he asked to have them replace his position with a black member to the board of directors. Like, he just understands his role and like what to do with his position and everything that like with other men, like this whole ballerina farm thing, or like Simone Biles' husband. I'm like, this should always be the standard and where the bar is set.
And Serena, she's got a good one. Not him stepping down and replacing, you know what I mean, finding his replacement and letting it be a black man. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, husband goals, it's him. Like, everything he does, I'm sure it's genuine. He's not just doing it just because Serena's black. Like, I'm sure he really loves her. He adores her, their family. You know what I mean? I'm here for it and I love it.
Apparently, Serena Williams' husband, Alexis, has been waiting on the day to confront Stephen A. Smith, and that day came. So evidently, I don't know if he was on ESPN or what. I just saw the clip, and him and Stephen A. were able to talk, and he said, yeah, I heard you had some advice for me. Let me rewind real quick and give you a backstory. If you don't remember, Serena performed with Kendrick Lamar at the Super Bowl, and Stephen A. Smith assumed that the reason why Serena was on the stage with Kendrick Lamar was to get back at Drake. Like he always does, run his big mouth and said, well, if she felt the need to do that to get back at Drake, if she was my wife, I'd send her back where she came from. Now that I caught y'all up just a little bit, he asked Stephen A. Smith, have you ever been married to be giving out advice? He said, yeah, I give advice to people that want to build a $1 billion company because I have built a $1 billion company. Essentially saying, Stephen A. Smith, if you've never been married, you don't need to be giving out advice to married people. Apparently, the cat had his tongue that day because I ain't never seen Stephen A. Smith stutter, backpedal, and coochie pop the way he did while he was talking to that man.
Gosh, not the coochie popping, but no, listen, she told no lies. Like, Stephen A. Smith is a very confident man. He does commentary. I ain't never heard him stutter, so you know what I mean? Where's all this backpedaling or pussy popping in hell with what? Where's this all come from? Like, huh? But yeah, when that performance, because that performance pissed off a lot of people. Stephen A. Smith was going in. A lot of people were going in on Serena because back in the day, her sister did get unalived by a Crip. So you know, obviously in LA you have the Bloods and the Crips. So a lot of people were like, "Why are you Crip walk like Crips? One of the Crip members unalived your sister." And then again, the whole "not like us" because it's a diss towards Drake and Drake is Serena's ex. Like it just got really messy, and a lot of people did drag Serena, but people forgot about her and Kendrick being friends, coming from the same neighborhood, just being that like, because Samuel Jackson, the actor, was there, just being invited to the Super Bowl and to be a part of the performance. It's an opportunity. Like I watched an interview with Serena talking about it afterwards, and she told the day, like she spoke on the day when she got the phone call from K-Dot and he was just like, "Do you want to be in this performance?" And she was just like, "Yeah." Like she was so excited. Even though she's an athlete, she does tennis. Like she's never gonna be on in a football stadium. So she's like, I'm never gonna get this opportunity again. So she was like, hell yes, I will be crip walking and dancing. You know what I mean? So the haters are gonna keep on hating, but shout out to her husband once again.
So Alexis Ohanian, who is a very successful entrepreneur and investor. He's also known as the co-founder of the very popular social media website called Reddit. You always see Reddit popping up everywhere you turn around. It's a very popular handle. Anyway, I love how he confronted Stephen A. Smith recently on air. So you remember when Stephen A. Smith had all that to say about Serena Williams when she was just having a good time at the Super Bowl and made an appearance during Kendrick Lamar's performance at halftime? Oh, he just got so personal, all up in the business, don't even know what he's talking about. Clearly, he doesn't know how to have fun with his ex without there being strings attached. Watch this clip where he was just going in because she performed with Kendrick Lamar, just for the fun of it. And then Alexis Ohanian came back and so gracefully put him in his place. I loved it.
Not allowing none of that's happening.
Hold on, no.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that link back. Also, too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
well, you know what? Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I
was hoping you were going to be here.
I'm not. Oh no, I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, Stephen.
No.
Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reson I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane with advice.
I'm so glad he got put in place. I couldn't even talk. Quick to disrespect Serena Williams, but when Serena Williams' husband confronts him face to face, right there, live on air, he's stumbling. I'm so glad that he got called out. It was perfect. Chef's kiss. Mwah. Like, why do some people always seem to feel like just because you have a positive relationship with your ex, you still somehow want to be together? You can still work on projects together, do things together without there being any kind of strings attached. Just because Stephen A. Smith might not know how to do that doesn't mean that other people don't know how to do it. Alexis Ohanian, Serena Williams' husband, is out here creating billionaires. You on a platform talking yang yang all day about everybody. Y'all are not the same. Stay in your lane.
Stephen A. Smith, just stay in your lane. You know what I mean? You're not in the same bracket. You know what I mean? He's on bigger things. And again, I just love how he kept repeating it like, listen, I'm a billionaire. I have $1 billion company. I speak on what I know. You know what I mean? There's one thing not currently being married, but the fact that you've never been married, why are you speaking on someone's marriage? You know what I mean? Or speaking on their wife. It was different if she was single, but she's not. Like, she's happily married, has children. Again, not everyone beefs with their ex, and Drake took shots at Serena first. He took shots at Rihanna, Serena, and a couple of other people. So, you know what I mean? Again, her husband, shout out. So Alexis, he caught wind of it and he added Drake, and I think he spoke on Drake's baby mother, you know, the ex-porn star. Nothing gets past him. That's what I love. Again, he is the co-owner of Reddit, so as soon as anything's going on social media, he's on it. Like, this person said what about my wife? I just love that he's on it. He don't care who you are. He's got time for you. And Serena never has to address any of these dusty men because her husband will do it for her. Like, I'm here for it and I'm loving it.
So got your tongue, Stephen? I don't know how some of y'all brothers are going to be able to watch Stephen A. Smith after seeing him turn into a stuttering little boy when he was confronted by Serena Williams' husband.
Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time. But I was
hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice
department. Then we'll talk marriage advice later.
I mean, as soon as this man confronted him, he was letting him know, I'm not qualified, sir. I'm not qualified. You ain't qualified to speak on half the things you speak about, and you still do. So what's the difference? The difference is that this is a successful white man, somebody that you want to be like, someone that you look up to. So the energy was totally different, right? You forgot who Serena Williams' husband was. And mind you, you literally said, if I was her husband, this is what I would do. Then her husband comes to you and says, what'd you say what you would do if you was me? Master, I want to talk. Master, I want to talk about you. I mean,
I'm sorry, guys, but listen, her response, like, oh no, mess. It just reminds me of one of those old slavery films where you have that one, claiming that they're about that life, like, oh, Master ain't gonna whip me. I'm gonna go up to him and I'm gonna tell him that. And then Master gets a whiff and like, what you say, boy? And he's like, oh no, Master, I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying. And it's just like the woman said previously, all the coochie popping, like backpedaling. You can't listen to Stephen A. Smith the same again. His loyal, hardcore fans. Is this your leader? Like, is this who you're really listening to? I would have respected him more if he was listening. I said what I said. In my point of view, if I was her husband, I would want a divorce. But he was just like, oh no, it was just the headlines. Everyone was speaking on it. It was trending. And Alexis told him, listen, I'm a billionaire. I make billion-dollar companies. Stop speaking on what you don't know. And that goes for anyone. Listen, if a person ever catches you in real life and you've spoken on them, you need to keep that same energy. You know what I mean? Tasha K, that's why she says she ain't got no friends in the industry, because she just talks her shit and she don't care. Now, obviously, now she's putting alleged because after Cardi B sued her ass, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? You can't do both. If you are going to speak on people, I'm going to need you to 10 toes down. I'm going to need you to stand on business. But yeah, her response was cracking me up. Not the mess.
imagine, bitch. Alexis Ohanian. Listen, if y'all keep up with this Caucasian man propaganda, I may fall victim, I fear. Alexis, my God, on today, hold on, let me get into some light. God bless you. Alexis went on, he was on some show on the People's Sports Place. And Stephen A. Smith put his little self inside of a picture box. And I don't even know what the fuck they were talking about before this, but to be sure, before it was said and done, Alexis said, hey, I heard you had some marriage advice for me. Now, hold on. Now, Stephen is historically loud and questionably proud with the things that he says. And immediately went to stuttering and foo-fopping. Alexis says, have you ever been married? Now, sister that's on set, it gives, I want you to whack him, but I don't want these niggas to blame me for you getting whacked, him getting whacked on social media, and I don't want to hear his mouth crying, him being Stephen A. Smith, because she tried to make some slight pivots. I've never been married, and we can talk about marriage advice later, but Alexis said, nay. One day I will look the devil in the face and make it plain. He said, yeah, you know, you're giving marriage advice. Have you ever been married? I love posing questions to people that I know the answer to, knowing that their answer is going to make them look like a fucking idiot. My favorite thing to do it. / what I will say is, hey, I'm new here. Can you describe X, Y, and Z? Knowing they can't describe it, knowing I'm not new here. But let's play a game, huh? Alexis said, yeah, like you were giving me marriage advice. And I give advice to people about how to build businesses, you know, billion-dollar businesses, because I have built a billion-dollar business. But why the fuck is you talking about some shit you've never experienced? And Stephen was quiet as fuck. You've been talking cash shit about Kamala Harris and Jasmine Crockett for the last 7 days. You have so much to say. And had so much to say about Serena Williams. And then her husband is right there. It's a perfect opportunity for you to lean in and engage. I didn't know I needed that. Is this what a cutwater feels like in your system? This euphoria? It's exhilarating. Again, if y'all keep up with this white man propaganda, I'm going to have to fortify myself. I don't know, because these niggas ain't acting right. But yeah, shout out to Alexis. Shout out to Serena. Shout out to that sister on set. And I hope somebody went and picked up Stephen and took him off of his high chair and took off his bib and burped him so he can go to bed with some peace. Because I know his tummy is in knots after that. Bitch, yeah.
I loved his response, and I agree 100. When you're checking someone, and you ask them a question and you already know the answer, there's nothing more fulfilling than that, because it just beats their point or their logic. It's like, fam, you've never been married, so why are you how can you be speaking of someone's whole successful marriage and her husband's loving on her, and now her husband wants to have a conversation and you're like, oh, this is not the time for it. There's never going to be another time, because you do like sports commentary while Alexis is over here building billion-dollar companies. So you know what I mean? When are you ever gonna meet again? A lot of people reacting to this don't even know what the whole interview was about, but I'm sure it's something to do with sports. But Alexis was just like, hey, like, this is the perfect time. Again, this all happened way back in February. Again, they're not in the same rooms because they're on 2 different levels. So, you know, he was just like, Alexis, like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to speak to you. And he didn't come in all aggressive. He was just like, hey, I heard that you had some marriage advice for me. And then Osti was like, oh, no, master, no. I ain't got nothing for you. But it's just like, but you spoke on my wife. Like, huh? Like, please make it make sense. But yeah, someone check on Stephen A. Smith, make sure he alright. Because again, he's not gonna learn from this. He's still gonna speak on people. He probably won't speak on Serena again. But yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And yeah, big ups to Alexis and Serena. I love them guys together. But I'm with him. Like, these black men ain't acting right. So a lot of people are, you know, going over to the other races. But yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe and share. Stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one.